Ever feel like you're fighting a battle inside your own head? Well, today we're looking at an ancient text, not just as a prayer, but as a surprisingly powerful user manual for the human mind. So let's just dive right in. We all have that inner monologue, right? That voice that's just always there. But what happens when that voice, your own voice, suddenly turns against you? You know the feeling. It's like this constant barrage of anxiety, these intrusive thoughts, this inner saboteur that just creates this relentless noise that feels absolutely impossible to shut off. But what if I told you that a 7th century text, Surah An-Nas, offers a really modern and sophisticated psychological toolkit to fight back? In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how. Okay, so first things first, to fight an enemy, you have to understand how they operate, right? You got to know their tactics. And this surah gives this enemy a very specific name and a profile. It's called the Vesvas, which literally means the whisperer. And notice the wording, it's not a loud shout, it's not a command. It's a subtle, persistent, obsessive whisper that's designed to slowly and quietly erode your peace of mind. But here's where it gets really, really interesting. The surah gives it another characteristic, An-Nas, which means the sneaky retreater, and this describes its number one tactic. So you see the strategy here? It's this brilliant dynamic. It's an active whisperer when you're distracted or vulnerable, but it becomes a passive retreater the very second you turn your focus and awareness onto it. This is a classic guerrilla tactic for the mind. It hits, it runs, and it hides, just waiting for the next opportunity when your guard is down. And honestly, this is an almost perfect one-to-one match for the modern psychological concept of intrusive thoughts. So, how in the world do you defend against an enemy that's so sneaky? Well, the surah doesn't just hand you one flimsy shield. No, it helps you build a 3-layered suit of armor for your mind. The first layer of defense is to seek refuge in the rub of mankind. That's the sustainer, the one who nurtures you. This is all about addressing your core need for biological and emotional security. It's about grounding yourself. Then comes the second layer, the Malik, the sovereign, the ultimate king. This is about acknowledging that true power and control don't actually lie with you or your anxieties. It's about surrendering that illusion of control to a higher authority. And the final, innermost layer is the Allah, the one true God, the object of your ultimate devotion. This step aligns your core purpose, which automatically makes all those other whispers and worries seem like secondary background noise. So you see how these 3 layers create this comprehensive defense? It's a full protocol. You appeal to your nurturer for safety, your sovereign for control, and your God for purpose. It becomes this complete psychological shield. Okay, so we've got our armor. Now we need to understand the battlefield. Where does this fight even take place? The text is incredibly precise about the exact location of the attack. It says, the whisperer targets the sadur, or the chests. Now, this is so important. This isn't your deep inner self, your qalb or your heart's core. Think of the sadur as the mind's interface, like a waiting room where thoughts arrive before you decide whether or not to accept them. And there's this classical interpretation that just illustrates the concept so perfectly. It says, the enemy can't breach the central fortress of your heart. He can only wander around in the courtyard and shoot arrows of suggestion over the wall, hoping that you'll be the one to open the gate. This very specific understanding of the battlefield, that it's in the waiting room, not the core, is the key to a powerful psychological technique that modern therapy actually calls cognitive diffusion. By labeling that intrusive thought is coming from an external whisperer, the surah immediately helps you detach from it. It's such a powerful reminder. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts, and you have the power to decide which ones you let in. But the surah takes this one final, crucial step further. It warns that these manipulative whispers don't just come from some unseen internal source. The final verse is a total game changer. It clarifies that the whisperer can be from among the jinn and mankind. This moves the entire concept from a purely internal metaphysical battle to a very real and very social one. In fact, some modern thinkers have taken this idea and called our environment a massive Vesvas Industry, an entire ecosystem designed to constantly whisper into our minds. And just think about it for a second. Advertising that whispers you're not enough without this product. Social media algorithms that feed you fear and outrage, propaganda designed to create division, they all operate on the exact same principle of that sneaky whisperer. When you see it this way, the Surah becomes this powerful manifesto for mental freedom. It's a tool to build resilience, not just against your own inner critic, but against a whole world full of external whisperers, all vying for control of your consciousness.
And that leaves us with a final, crucial question to carry forward with us. The next time a negative, anxious, or needy thought enters your mind, just pause for a second and ask yourself, I'm thinking, but is this thought truly for me?